It is one of the most exciting times of the year if you're a sports fan. The conference finals in hockey and basketball are in full force. In basketball, we are seeing some perennial champions and greats of the game back in the spotlight, while on the ice, a new team has taken over the league almost overnight. Joining me to break it all down is Bill Reiter, host of Reiter's Block on CBS Sports HQ. Bill, what an incredible story the Vegas Golden Knights have become, an expansion team in their first year in the NHL. Their first ever game was the same week as the tragic shooting in Las Vegas. And now they're headed to the Stanley Cup Finals? I mean, does that ever happen?
Yeah, you can't make these things up. It's not just the most successful and surprising, maybe, hockey story we've ever seen. The Golden Knights are the, by far, most successful expansion team in the history of all American sports. In fact, we're going to have Gavin Maloof on the show tomorrow on CBS Sports HQ, right around 4 o'clock Eastern Time, one of the owners of the Golden Knights, and talking to him and people in Vegas, the exuberance, the excitement, and frankly, the shock, their own shock, that they are where they are. It's been a pretty remarkable ride for everybody in Las Vegas.
I mean, we've heard this could break the casinos if they win.
Yeah, right. It's better to own the Golden Knights than it is to have put lines down 500-1 at the start of the season. And the way this works, I mean, people like to bet on the hometown team.
Right.
So in Vegas, it was really easy at the start of the year to say, oh, what the hell, I'll go for it. I'll throw $100 down. Yeah, it's a great scenario for Vegas, the city. It's a nightmare scenario for the Strip and all the poor casinos that won't make as much money.
Absolutely. Well, now, it's not just about the team. There are all these elaborate pregame shows on the ice as well. Do you think the spectacle around these games has helped build a loyal fan base?
I do, and I think it's a few things. I mean, for years, Las Vegas was this epicenter of sports because of sports gamblers, but they weren't allowed to have professional sports teams or really have a lot of events come their way. And so the spectacle, I think, in a lot of ways, is a sign of how thrilled the city of Las Vegas is to finally be part of that professional sports club.
So let's switch from the Golden Knights now to the Golden State. The Warriors ran away with it last night with a 40-point win over the Houston Rockets in the NBA's Western Conference Finals. Steph Curry overcame some injury talk to put in a vintage performance. How important is it to the Warriors that he be healthy? If
he is even half of what we saw last night, and you're right, that was a beatdown that Houston suffered. If Steph Curry is even 75% of the player that he was last night, the Warriors are unbeatable. Whether it's the Rockets, whether it's the Celtics, whether it's the Cleveland Cavaliers, you just can't beat that team when they're doing what you saw. Steph was, pretty ordinary in the first half. And that's putting it politely. But in that second half, scored almost 30 points in that second half alone. He was that two-time MVP that sort of vanished the last year and a half at times with the arrival of Kevin Durant. If he's doing that, nobody can beat that basketball team. Now,
Bill, moving to the Eastern Conference, tonight is Game 4 between the Celtics and the Cavs. We have yet to see a close game. The Celtics were blown out in Game 3. Do you expect LeBron to lead the Cavs to another big win tonight, or can the Celtics get their mojo back?
Yeah, I do. I think the line is 6.5 in Cleveland's favor. And history tells us it's not just going to be a Cleveland win. It'll be a big win. LeBron's one of the great players of all time when he's down 1-2. He's one of the great players of all time in terms of win percentage. He wins 80% of his games at home. He's one of the best players of all time, period. And this Celtics team, and we saw it in Game 3, they don't play as well on the road. They just don't. So you never know. It's sports. You got to play the game. But it certainly looks like, if you're sort of reading the tarot cards here and looking at history, it looks like it could be another big Cavs win.
Can't wait to watch. Bill Reiter, thank you.
You bet.